What up, Raffalito? Raffalitos, welcome back to my channel. Today we are again up the east coast of Demerara, looking at a small development, housing development, east of where we were the last time, Corridor Park. And this is actually between Sparendaan and Corridor Park. Morning. And there are a number of single family homes that are going up here. This is a new one on the construction. And it's actually fairly large. Looks as if it's going to be a few thousand square feet. Now these other homes that have been built here in the last 10 years are also fairly large, but the lots here are large. In other words, the space, the land footprint of the house is large. This is next door to Corridor Park and Pradoville 1. Right at the end of the street is Pradoville 1, and I didn't actually explore this part of the neighborhood last time I was here. Just thought I'd take a few minutes to explore east of Pradoville 1 to see what has happened here in the last 10 or so years. Now, these homes are in fact single family residential homes that have been built by people who were able to buy into this area, this neighborhood, during the development phase. This is about, I don't know, a few hundred yards away from the seawall. Behind there, these homes is some more land or some reserve land and the seawall. And so the Atlantic Ocean is very close by, very nearby, and therefore they're on the same position of having to prepare for water coming over the wall. That is sea level rise. And of course at the end of this lot is the Vice President's home. You can see behind this one, and Pradoville 1. But last time I was in this neck of the woods, that is going all the way up to Atlantic Gardens in
Distance 6 miles. Duration 1 hour 8 minutes 27 seconds. Pace 21 minutes 17 seconds per mile. 871 kilocalories burned.
Right, so the last time I was in this neck of the woods going past this neighborhood, this is the Vice President's residence. I thought I would take a look. Video! YouTube video! YouTube video! Yeah. No, the street. Yeah, that's the guard at the Vice President's residence asking what I'm doing with my camera. But yeah, this is the neighborhood I went past last time I was filming that video on the East Coast public road that's going past Atlantic Gardens and Lure Souvenir, and I thought I'd take a look at what's happening in this neck of the woods, because as I went past it I could see there are these large homes that you could see from the highway. Now the highway is actually not far from here. This is the East Coast Highway. Those are the shops as a parts store on the highway, so it's actually quite close. We're just one street behind the highway, and that's the community center. That is the Sparendaan Community Center. Actually it's called, I think, Ogo and what's the name, Plaisance Ogle and Plaisance Community Centre. And so this is the neighborhood between the Ogle Road, that is the airport road, and Sparendaan, which goes into Plaisance. And so I've never filmed a video, I never recorded a video in this neighborhood. Thought I'd take a closer look at it because you could see these homes, and now I discovered that the entrance, in fact, to the Vice President's home is in fact through this street, which explains the traffic. Which explains the traffic in this street. Yeah guys, so there's a fair amount of housing development in this neck of the woods. Larger homes going up, single family homes going up in this neck of the woods. Large in terms of square footage compared to what is traditionally built. The ones in front, for example, those homes are what was traditional for Guyana and in this neighborhood. But a lot of the politicians and their friends have moved out of the city and have built themselves a community and neighborhood here in Pradoville 1. That's the seawall. The mangrove has grown into a forest. In the distance you can see the mangrove growing into a forest. And this is the access road. To access this neighborhood you need to turn onto this paved road that is actually a inlet from Pradoville, inlet to Pradoville 1 from the Rupert Craig Highway, the East Coast Highway. So guys, that's what's happening here in this neck of the woods. Some of these houses have been updated, some of them have been abandoned, and some of them are being reconditioned, redeveloped. This street, of course, if you keep going south, we're actually heading south. If you keep going south, you'll find yourself in what's that neighborhood? Sparendaan neighborhood next to Plaisance. And since it's Sunday morning, I think there's a market that goes on there. Sunday market at Plaisance. Actually to the left, to the right, to the west. The west of this street is Sparendaan. To the east is Plaisance. And if you go down the street, you'll find the market. East of this street, morning, you'll find the Sunday market. Now I don't know if I'll be able to get all the way down there. That is on the train line road. This is the Sparendaan police station here on a Sunday morning. Well, the post office is next to the post office police station. So this is the entrance to Plaisance. And that's the post office. That's the Sparendaan or post office. Let's see what I say. Can you see it? There. Plaisance. So that's the Plaisance post office, and that's the Sparendaan police station. So if you can see that. Across over the road, take a better look at it from the other side of the road. That's the building we were looking at last time we were in this neck of the woods. Yeah, it's the Sparendaan. That's the Sparendaan police station. Sparendaan, D-A-A-M. It's a Dutch word. And I see next to it is the Sparendaan Magistrates Court. So that's the police station, the Magistrates Court, and the Plaisance post office. So this is the village of Plaisance, and like I said, a lot of these buildings going up, multi-story residential buildings going up here on the East Coast. Not too far from that, I think, is morning. This is the church and the school. Plaisance, Sparendaan Church and School is called St. Paul's Primary School. Morning. St. Paul's Primary School. So you can see the sign. And the church. Morning. St. Paul's Primary School and the church associated with that school. Don't know, it's Methodist Church, Presbyterian Church, one or the other. These are the homes being built in Plaisance. The home of a famous Guyanese, Eddy Grant. Right, the Grant family, Eddy Grant and Rudy Grant, and the other Grants made this village famous, or brought fame to the village from their fame. Right, so they came out of Plaisance to make a mark on the world internationally. Now I think Eddy has a home in Essequibo. When you're taking the boat to Bartica, you can pass a huge mansion in the middle of the river that belongs to Eddy Grant. He built a home from his earnings in the music industry, his publishing company, his record company, and his catalog. But this is Plaisance on the east coast of Demerara. Those of you who are from the village of Plaisance would recognize the main road. And some of these homes have been built in the last 30 years, but the older homes have been around here for 50 or 70 years or more, because this is one of the first African American neighborhoods, villages. Right, the village of Plaisance has a history that goes way back. Places like Victoria, Buxton, Plaisance were originally purchased by former enslaved people. They pooled their resources, pooled their money, and they bought the land even when they were not allowed to work. And their competition, that is indentured immigrants from India and Portugal were brought in to do the work that they were doing for free. They still pooled their resources, did farming, and built villages along the east coast of Demerara and even in Berbice. So, Firish, for example, Firish village is one of those places in Berbice, where I grew up, and which was built predominantly African American, or Afro-Guyanese. So this is Plaisance. This is the village. This is the church, Plaisance Church of God. Here, this one seems to be an empty home. A lot of people migrated over the years and left their homes behind, and so a lot of the homes that are empty or that have been unoccupied for a while are people who have been living abroad in the States, in the UK, in Europe, in Canada for decades, because during the time when before Guyana became an oil producing country, when the country was in decades of political crisis before 1992 and after 1992, a lot of people migrated. Some people had property and they left them behind. It's an orphanage, St. John's Bosco, and it's a boutique, a shop there. But eventually people started coming back after they had made a living abroad and started rebuilding their homes. Some people came back sooner than others. I came back. I've been back for almost 9 years, 10 years at the end of this year. And so some people came back and found a way to rebuild their homes, their lives. And now we have a revitalized, thriving village of Plaisance. I was here in 1980s, I believe, or 1970s, early 70s, mid 70s and 1980s, when it was a thriving community. And then people just left, including my family, migrated, went to the West Indies, went to Canada. This is the Plaisance market. Morning. So, thought I'd take a look. It's a famous Sunday market here on the train line road. Plaisance market.